Hi guys, it's Theresa here of Larkin Design. Welcome to In My Pocket Memory Keeping class. And today I'm working on a layout in my 2012 album. I wanted to share with you this process. This is an event-based layout. And so for the month of January in 2012, I had about 4 events that went on. And they didn't really fall into a specific week pattern, but of course they should be included in the album. And so this is where I go to an event-based layout and just do a page or a 2-page spread about a particular event. On the left-hand side of the layout, I'm doing an event where Addison was being tested in karate. He took karate for about 3 or 4 years, I think, and so his instructor did testing pretty often, almost once a month, and Addison was going through the testing really well. And of course we took tons of photos for those events where we could, and I've chosen a Studio Calico kit for this layout. It's the Roman Holiday kit, which was January 2017. This is the Documenter Kit. And so I have a couple of journaling cards selected. I chose black and white and pops of color that appear throughout this kit. Now there were color cues in the photos, right? The walls are sort of a teal color. So I'm repeating that kind of with the mint, and then on the other side of the layout will be the pinks from the girls' dresses, and so the pinks and corals will echo and tie in those colors as well. So this is a date card, sort of title card. I'm just making it a title card. When I do event-based layouts, I don't typically put the week number on it. I just put, kind of a title or what it is that we're doing and the date itself. I think that when you're doing weekly layouts, you don't have to have the specific date that's on every photo, but when it's event-based, I do like to have it. It probably doesn't matter either way. It's just personal preference. So what I decided to do was layer one of the other journaling cards on top of this black and white patterned journaling card. I've also used one of the washi tapes to go across the lower half of the card as well. And then I have a stamped sentiment. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that or what I'm going to do with that. There was a set of alphabets in this kit. I don't think it was these blue ones. I think it was the pink ones or coral colored ones. But I'm going to use these, and so I'm going to spell out my title here, and what I'm going to do is layer that title in the text block that I've created from the other journal card. And this is some of the freedom, right, that Pocket Pages give you to go between weekly based and event based, and then to go also between doing title cards and weekly cards, and you can do both, of course, in the same layout as well. So if you wanted this to say week 5, I don't know what week this was, but if you wanted this to say week 5, you certainly could, and then you could put the title card on one of the smaller journaling cards or in the lower right hand corner. That's probably how I would approach that if I were going to do both a week card and a date card. And again, I think that that's totally a personal preference. I don't tend towards flashy titles. It's just something that I sort of don't just don't do very often for some reason. But it did fit in here, and there was an opportunity to do that here. This is an older Dear Lizzie date stamp, and I'm just going to use the date part of it. It has phrases as well. And then it needs just a little tiny embellishment, right? And this is what I refer to as a nice formula for a good, well-designed date card or journal card. Is a text block, a little strip of contrasting pattern, and then one tiny embellishment. And that's really all you need for a good journaling card or filler card there. Just quick and easy, done, not a lot of thought, not a lot of stressing about it, but it works really well, and it adds it rounds out the color in this layout. Actually, that card definitely needed a punch of teal because of all the teal on these walls, and so that carries it just around the page. I added a half of a circle element that was included in the Documenter Kit to the photo on the top, and then I'm going to repeat that again on the bottom photo. But first I'm adding a couple of tiny embellishments to the journaling cards. Some star stamps are going around the layout. This is an older Studio Calico roller stamp from the 7 collection, I think, or 7 paper line. And then also a little stamped sentiment at the bottom of this one. No, I'm sorry, I stamped the stars across the bottom of this one, and then I stamped my lines using that Becky Higgins Project Life roller stamp that I use like almost in every Project Life layout or pocket page layout. So also there was a little tiny heart stamp in that stamp set from the Hazelwood collection, so I've borrowed that in this layout as well. And so you can see where I've used this other half of that circle element, and so that's a repeating element here in the layout. And I just stamped a tiny word sentiment there to use on that photo. The only thing that's left on this side is this card right here, so I'm going to layer that stamped sentiment there, and then I'm sort of debating here on what to put across the bottom. I thought I would put his name, Addison, but there weren't enough D's on the alphabet set, so that idea is out. I'm gonna look through the cards again and see if there's something to cut out or a little embellishment that I can cut out, and nothing really calls to me. So let's see what I'm gonna decide to do. I'm just gonna do a word strip that's stamped from this Maggie Holmes word stamp. There we go. Just simple. And then time for the journaling. And I'm just going to write a little bit about how well that Addison was doing in his karate and how much he loved it. There. And then I want to staple these circle elements, so I need to pull out these photos. And everything gets all messed up. But I'm just going to staple these with my tiny attacher and then I'll be done with this side of the layout. I'm going to clean things up a little bit. You'll get a chance to look at this closer at the end of the film, at the end of the video. And then also on the class page for this lesson, you'll see the detailed photos of this layout as well. So for the right hand side of my layout, I have photos from a Kings and Princess dance that the girls and Alan went to for Valentine's Day. And so yes, absolutely, I have skipped a month here between January 22nd and like February 18th, I think. And so that's okay. We're going to keep rolling with that. I want to stress, and you'll hear me say this over and over again throughout this class, I want to stress just embracing the photos that you have, and embracing whether there's 3 months in between them or 1 day in between the photos that you have. That's fine. Just go with what you have and keep on trucking. Don't let that stop you. I have no idea. I have no idea what was going on that month now. But apparently we were busy. We were too busy to take pictures. And that's okay too, right? These are some pretty significant things that we did take time to photograph. So I had to use this floral in the Roman holiday kit. And I had to use that gold embossed 3x4 card as well. The colors tied in really beautifully with the girls' dresses. And so I'm going to layer again a text box on top of that card. And that's one thing that is helpful when creating your layouts as well, is to repeat elements across. So if you do one thing on one title card, do it on the other title card as well. It will save you reinventing the wheel, and it will provide some consistency and repetition across your layout. So I used the pink alphabets for this side, so again with repetition but also contrast here. And then the title here says Let's Dance, and there's a small pattern going up this text box. So I stamped the hearts going up that pattern as well. And that text box is adhered using one of the washi tapes from the Roman holiday kit. I'm also going to cut another circle embellishment here and use that at the very bottom. This journal card said 2017 at the bottom, which of course isn't applicable here. So we're just going to cover that up. And then what I want to do with this journaling card, I'm going to stamp a sentiment across the top of it, just to add a little something to it. First I'm stamping those stars again. And let's see, not doing the sentiment yet. I'm trying to figure out, I guess, I'm skipping around here a little bit. Sorry about that. In my class, we'll be skipping around sometimes too. I do it. I am trying to figure out what I want to do on the side of the photo with the girls and Alan. I'm thinking about if I want to do a stamp or cut down another journaling card. And then I decide to go get this punch. And this journaling card has a little polka dot pattern across the top. And I'm going to punch half of the punch with the polka dot pattern and half of it without. And then I'm going to take this little heart stamp again and just stamp up the side of that little punched shape. And so notice again, a lot of repetition in this layout. That helps it go quicker and that helps bring all the elements together and provides repetition. Repetition is one of the greatest design elements that I think there is. For that card, I just taped or adhered, I guess, that little word phrase on top of it. Again, using the same washi tape. So again, repetition. And then here, I'm going to work on this journaling card. And what ended up happening is that I ended up adding my journaling, and I just wrote about how this dance was really a fun day for all of them. I took the girls to the clothing store called Narji. Do you guys remember that? If you're a mom of a girl from about, I don't know, 2008 on, then you might know what Narji was. And it was a South African clothing company, and they had the most soft and frilly little dresses, and they were so cute. And there was one open by us for a little while, but I had been ordering from there for a long time before it ever opened up. And so I took the girls over there to pick out new dresses for the dance, and they got all dressed up, and they were, the photos in the middle of the layout here, they're twirling to see their dresses fly out with the ruffles. It's so sweet, and I miss those dresses so much. But that's also a special story. So I included that in my journaling. And then I'm going to staple this here, just a little banner. And then this layout is complete. So I hope that you enjoyed this lesson and this process video for this layout in January, which was an event-based layout. And then I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, you guys.